My name is Ryan Burgher, and I'm the founder and executive director of AGAITAS. AGAITAS is a sports ministry based out of northern Indiana, and our whole goal is to use sports to share Christ. The story that I'm going to be sharing today is about the woman at the well. And there's so many great things about this story that I want our organization to take. So to start out, this story, Jesus and his disciples are in Judea, and they're looking to go to the region of Galilee. Now, the easy way to get from Judea to Galilee is to go through Samaria. But the issue is that most Jewish individuals don't like Samaria, and they don't like the Samaritans. So they would much rather go a long way around it than through it. But Jesus decided this day that him and his disciples were going to go through Samaria on their way to the region of Galilee. So during their travels, Jesus gets to a well, and the disciples go to the nearby town, and they are getting food. But while Jesus is at the well, there's a lady there. And this lady's there alone, and it's around noon. Now, the big thing about that is most women would come to the well early in the morning when it's cooler, and they would come together because it's more of a social thing. So you got to think this lady was there alone and at the hottest time of the day, right at noon. So during the conversation with Jesus, it comes that she's been married 5 times, and that the man that she is living with now is not her husband. So people think that potentially she was there because 1, she was being shunned by the other people in her town, or 2, she was embarrassed with her lifestyle. But as the conversation continues with Jesus, he lets her know that she can drink from the water in the well, but she'll be thirsty again. But she could drink from the living water that only he can provide, and she'll never be thirsty again. So ultimately she decides to have the living water and spend eternity with Christ. Now, a couple cool things about this story. 1, where it all starts, Jesus and his disciples in Judea, traveling through Samaria. And I just think as believers, how many times do we run into something where we're like, I know it's going to be hard if I do this. I know it's really going to be hard if I go from Judea to Galilee through Samaria. What if I run into people that I don't get along with? What if I have to talk to somebody that I'm not like? How many times do we do that? How many times is it easier just to go around it than to go through it? And then you think about the next part, the woman at the well. So again, she was either there because 1, she might have been being shunned, or 2, she was ashamed with her lifestyle. As Christians, how many times are we ashamed of our lifestyle and we draw away? Maybe choices that we're making. But Jesus met her there. Met her in that pain. Because we're never the people that are shunning someone, right? We're never that person, so it's hard to even think about that. But it is easy to think about the person that might be ashamed, that might be living in a way that they don't want to be living in, drawing away from everyone else. But when you think about a sports ministry and the story at the woman at the well, does that make any sense to bring those together? So this is the tie-in with that. That woman came to that well for water, and Jesus met her there and gave her living water. So when we are doing AGAITAS, we know that people are coming to what we do because of sports. But we want to meet them there with so much more than that. We want to give them living water when they come. They're coming for sports. We want to give them Jesus because it's so much more than sports. It's so much more than the water in that well. And Jesus knew it. So my challenge to you today is, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, what do you have? What do you have well that people are coming to thinking they're getting water, thinking they're getting sports, but you're there to give them so much more? That's the challenge for you today. Give people so much more. Give people Jesus. Thank you for listening to our Miss Church Summer Series. Hope to see you again soon.